We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. It's the Real Estate Talk with yours truly, Brother Inspirational Henry. Our guest attorney, Mr. Kamlesh Oza. As I said, just share with your friends, share with your families. We have a very interesting topic today. What is title insurance? Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon to each and everyone. I want to say good afternoon to you, Mr. Kamlesh Oza. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the show, Henry. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we, as you know, everyone knows that I am a realtor here in South Florida. We have a team of guys here that work with us. We have our banker, Mr. Burt. We have his wife, who is also an insurance guru. She insures luxury homes, boats, yachts, planes, all kind of things. We have Livingston Burt. He's our credit guru. His wife also a credit guru. And today we have in studios Mr. Kamlesh Oza that is going to educate people. He's an attorney, so he knows these things from a legal standpoint. He's also a title insurance attorney. So he's going to get into some things. But first thing I want to ask is, the basic is, Mr. Kamlesh, what is title insurance and why do we need it?
So that's a great question, Henry. Title insurance has been around since 1876. And obviously it has everything to do with title. So before I answer the question, what is title insurance, we need to understand what is a title. So title is the proof of ownership of a thing. It could be a car, and in this case, it's a home. So the document that shows that you own the title of a home is deed. And the deed shows that the property was transferred to the current owner from the previous owner. And it is the current owner who has the legal ownership of the property. The purpose of title insurance is to insure the property. But really, to understand what is title insurance, we have to understand what is it insuring? It's insuring property. What is the property? Well, in simple terms, it's your home. But legally, it's much more than that. Lawyers call property a bundle of sticks. Each stick in that bundle is a right that you have. And therefore, a property is a collection of rights that you have. Now, what happens is, if everything is not legally correct, those sticks, one by one, can be taken away from that bundle. And you have lesser of a home than you would otherwise. So that's how title insurance comes into play. It protects all the rights that you have as a homeowner. It protects each and every stick in that bundle of sticks. Now, you may ask, I own the home, I am physically in the home. What can happen to it that will allow a right or a stick to be taken away from the bundle?
Right. That would be a great question for the average person.
Right. So let's say that you have uh, there is a house that you like, that you want to buy. Okay. The house has a fence around it, as many homes do. Now, either the current owner can put up the fence, or the neighbor may put up the fence. So what happens if the neighbor puts up the fence, and you know that each house has a legal boundary, right? Just like countries have borders,
Right.
homes have borders that legally define what is the boundary of the house. But you can't see that with naked eye. So the neighbor may put up a fence on your part of the property, on your land.
Oh.
You have no way of knowing that because you, as I say, you can't see that.
Ouch.
So nobody knows that this has happened. Now, you like that house. The seller has now what we call encroachment, meaning that the neighbor of the seller has encroached on the land of the current owner and built a fence. Okay. Now, what does that do? Now, remember, the neighbor may not know that he or she has done that either.
Right.
Okay? I'm not saying that the neighbor did that on purpose.
Right. Right.
Nobody may know that this has happened, but it happens. So now you want to buy that house. You like that house. Now you have a house that has encroachment. What does that mean? Your bundle of sticks is not a total bundle. One of the sticks
is missing.
It's
taken.
It's taken. The land on which your house sits, part of their land is gone. It may be inches, it may be feet, it may be anything, but legally it belongs to you. That's your right. And if that fence is there, that right has been taken away from you.
So what do you do in that sense? Because this fence could be there for some time, and with the original owners have this home for, let's say, 5 or 10 years, and you have new people that move in, and then they build that fence up while the new owners are there, and then the new owners sell the home, and then that's when they probably see on the blueprint or the plot that this part of the land belongs to the new owners that's purchasing the home at this time.
Right.
And now they're gonna have to figure out how they're gonna get that land back.
Exactly.
From the
exactly. So this is where the role of two people come into play. The role of an attorney like us, who is going to do the closing for you.
Right.
And the second person is a surveyor. So we have a survey done of the house that you want to buy on your behalf.
Right.
Right. So we hire the surveyor. The surveyor actually goes out to the house and legally measures the border of the house, the boundary, as it is called legally.
Right.
And it is a surveyor who will tell me that there is a problem with this property because it has been encroached upon. That fence is onto the land of this property.
And that's what makes it great that as an attorney and you're doing title, it just makes sense. Because if it was just a regular title company doing this, then they would have to probably go get an attorney anyway.
Yes, survey, the measuring of property is, again, it's a legal, it's not measured in kilometers or miles or it's legal terminology to describe, and you'll see that on the deed, by the way. The deed will describe a lot of that information. But so when we know that there's a problem with the with the boundary, we alert the realtor, and the realtor will alert his or her client that there is a problem with this property, and the seller will have to fix that, because that burden at this time is on the seller to fix. So therefore, that issue will have to be addressed before the closing can be done. And that is done before the closing. So that's just one of the rights that I talked about. What are some of the other rights that you as a prospective buyer has to be aware of? For example, the current owner may not have been up to speed on paying the property taxes.
Oh, that can be another beast to deal with.
Yes, because what happens is, the government obviously comes before everybody else in terms of what they want from you as a taxpayer. So if the current owner has not kept up with payment of property taxes, then there is a delinquency. And if that delinquency is a chronic issue, then there will be a tax lien on the house.
Ooh.
Now, you know what a lien is.
Yeah, once you say lien, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
So that is another stick from that bundle that just got taken away from you even before you bought the house.
I still want you to explain what a lien is, just briefly, in layman terms.
So a lien is let me go back and again talk about a car. Okay, a car payment. When you make car payment, the lender has a lien on your car. If you don't pay your car payments, they can repossess your car. And you know what I'm talking about there.
Okay. Yeah, from a car perspective, yeah.
This is the same story here. If the county where the tax is overdue, and if you don't keep paying it, theoretically, your house could be in jeopardy. So you want to make sure that there is no lien. Again, lien is you have borrowed something, you have borrowed money. Let's say that I want to borrow $100 from Henry. And Henry says, all right, I'll give you $100, but you would have to put a collateral with me. In other words, you have to give me something of value that I can hold on to in case you don't pay my $100 back.
At least you have something that will equate.
Exactly. So I give him my watch.
Right.
Henry holds on to that watch. That watch, now Henry has a lien on my watch. So if I don't pay him his $100, he can take possession.
And I'm sure that watch is probably worth more than that little $100.
That's exactly. Now transfer that to the home ownership. A mortgage is a form of lien. If you want to borrow money from, Carl, Carl will loan you the money, but Carl will want a collateral. What do you have to offer Carl that he can feel comfortable as a lender in loaning you the money? It's the house.
That's it.
The house is your collateral. Therefore, a mortgage, you just created another lien on the property. One of the big bundle, one of the big sticks in the bundle is now at issue. So at closing, what we make sure is the loan from the current owner is paid off.
Right.
So that lien from the mortgage,
It's gone.
it's gone. So if that is not done, again, going back to title insurance, that is a defect in the title. If the taxes are not paid on time, another defect in the title. If a neighbor puts up a fence on your land, another defect in the title. If the current owner hasn't paid a vendor, a contractor, okay, for the work that the contractor did, the contractor can put a lien on the house. It's called mechanic's lien. And that's another defect. So what we do as attorneys and closing agents is we do a very thorough lien search to make sure that there are no liens on the property from anyone, from the homeowners association, if it's a condo or townhouse, or from the county for the taxes, or from any other vendor, contractor that has done work on the house, to make sure that the title is clear. We call it a clear title. Only a clear title should be transferred to the next person. And in this case, the next person is you.
Right.
You are the one buying the house.
The buyer.
So you don't want a defective title to be stuck with. And that's where the title insurance comes into play. We, as your attorneys and closing agents, make sure that all the title defects are cured, okay, before the closing. All of this work is happening behind the scenes, by the way.
Right.
We do all of that. We do the search. We flag these things, and we tell Henry and other people that these are the issues and whatnot, and then work is done to resolve those issues. So you may not even know that this is happening behind the scenes, but that is what we are doing.
This is what the attorneys do. This is what we have to. This is why we have to pay them. You know. But the thing is, again, I'm very happy to have you here, Mr. Kamlesh, with this wealth of information. This is just amazing. We have some people that have no idea of the things that take place when we're purchasing a home. When you find that dream home, there's so much things that take place. But I want you to try to differentiate to people as well, our people, the difference between just a regular title company that everyone needs to have a title company to clear the titles, etc., etc. But what is the main difference between a title company and someone like yourself as an attorney that does title work? What is the difference? What is the significance? For what I've been hearing, it's like you're getting 2 for 1. It's like a bargain, because they have to charge the same price anyway for the most part.
That's correct, and I think this is something that most people may not be aware of. So, in state of Florida, there are 2 ways to issue title insurance. One is that you apply for a license to be a title agent. Now, you don't have to be a lawyer to qualify to do this.
Right.
And that's what title companies are. They are title agents individually licensed to issue title policies. And the paperwork that they do in issuing the title policy includes the closing documents. So they do the closing as part of the issuance of title policy. But remember that title agents are not lawyers. And a purchase of a home, what is the main vehicle of purchasing a home? It's the contract.
Right.
Contract between the buyer, meaning you guys, and the seller, who is the current owner of the home that you happen to like. Contract, by definition, is a legal document. So there may be issues, many of the issues that I have already talked about. There are many others that are beyond the scope of this show that may come up, but a title agent cannot offer legal advice, but a lawyer can. So if you do closing under the umbrella of a law firm, we treat you as a client of a law firm.
Right. So this is when we get like the 2-for-1.
That's
because
where
we're
you,
getting legal advice, and plus you're doing what you was hired to do,
which is the closing. So if there are any flags in the transaction, we alert the realtors like Henry that, hey, this could be a problem, and so then appropriate steps are taken to make sure that that doesn't hold up the closing. Now, you mentioned the other part, which is, cost.
Mm-hmm.
So like in car insurance and life insurance, all insurances cost premium, right? Title insurance is no different.
Right.
It costs, there's a cost. The good part is that title insurance is a one-time cost. You don't keep paying the premium every month.
Okay.
You just pay it once and you're done. Okay, that's part of the closing costs that buyer and seller incur. So what happens is that when we, the state regulates the premium of the title insurance. In other words, whether you buy a title insurance from a title agent or from a law firm, by law, it cannot be any different.
Right. And this again is why I'm going to reiterate, it's best to get this type of work done by an attorney that does this type of work, because you're getting 2-for-1. If you have as a first-time buyer, there are little things that you have no idea about, and you have a title company that's taking care of it, and they can't answer certain questions. They can't get in depth with certain things because they're not attorneys. It's best to have an attorney like Mr. Kamlesh Oza.
So yeah, that's where you are getting, what we do is we add value. I mean, what makes Henry unique as a realtor compared to other realtors, for example? What makes him different is that he brings value to the transaction. That's what sets him apart. And that's what attorneys are doing. They are adding that additional value to the transaction that would otherwise not be there. And we have many realtors who bring work to us because of that, because they prefer to have the security of a law firm handling closing as opposed to a title company.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions on Facebook. Awanda Artis, good afternoon. I know you're in New York. Thanks for tuning in. Conrad Johnson in New York as well. Thanks for tuning in. There's a question. Explain owner's title versus lender's title. And then we have another one that says, if I purchase a property and something comes up a year later, whose responsibility? Who's responsible for that?
Great questions. Let me start with the title insurance policy. So you as an owner want title insurance because of what I told you already. You want to protect your bundle of sticks, your rights as the owner, to make sure that your rights are not compromised. So you need title insurance as the owner. Now, the lender needs title insurance also because the lender is loaning you money. Depending on how much down payment you made, it could be as much as 95% or 90% or 80% of the money is coming from the lender, from the bank.
Right.
So the lender wants to make sure that its money is protected.
Protected. Mm-hmm.
So there are actually, and you will see this at closing, there are two completely different policies. One is for the owner, the other is for the lender. What is the biggest difference, you might want to know? Well, the biggest difference is the amount. Let's say the house is worth $100. Your policy is for $100. But the lender's policy is going to be for $80 or $90, depending on how much money has been borrowed.
Right.
So that is the biggest difference.
Right.
The second question, what was the second question, Henry?
If I purchase a property and something comes up a year later, who's responsible?
Exactly. This is where the title insurance is a lifesaver. The purpose of title insurance is to address precisely that. Sometimes, in spite of all the diligent effort made by everybody, something comes up later and it is not recognized at or before closing. And if that happens, the title insurance company pays for that.
Oh, okay.
That's why you need title insurance. That's exactly why you need title insurance. Because if you don't have it, and if something comes up later on, you are in big trouble.
You're going to be responsible. Yeah. And it depends on what comes up, because it can be some serious items that come up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Awanda. You're in Durham, North Carolina. I apologize. I thought you was in New York. We have so many New York viewers. I want to say good afternoon to Matsi in New York, Kirk Captain, New York, Octavius Jones. I want to say good afternoon to Lenez, Burt, Keisha Ramdas. I forget where you're from, Keisha. You can just put it in the comment where you're from. Tanya Young, Ranzo Witt, Stiggy in New York. I want to say good afternoon. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we are with Mr. Kamlesh Oza. He's an attorney at law. He has his own law firm. So I definitely want you to give them your information as well, even though you guys can contact him through us as well, but he will give you his information. Our number here is 561-336-1336, 561-336-1336, 561-336-1336. You can check us out on homewithhenry.com. I am a Keller Williams agent. I'm homewithhenry.com. We try to bring you all the information, try to educate everyone on purchasing that dream home. It could be a second home, it could be an investment home, whatever you're looking to do. Again, as you set focus and set goals in your life on what you want to do, we're here to help you. We have a banker, Mr. Carl Burt. We have a credit repair to fix your credit. We have insurance, our insurance guru, Marie. We have an attorney. Anything that you need to make that dream happen, we're here for you. We just love to educate people, though. As they say, an educated consumer is the best consumer. As long as you know what you're getting into and you want to spend that money that you've been working so hard for, you want to spend it right. And you want to spend it with honest people, people that's looking out for your best interests and not just for the money. We want everyone just walk away with a smile. We did our good deed. We can go to our beds and sleep very comfortable after we do what we do for you. And you can go to your bed and sleep comfortable because you know that you worked with some people that looked out for your best interests. So, Mr. Kamlesh, I would like for you to, even though I gave them information that they can call me, I want you to give them your information.
Sure. So our law firm is Oza, O-Z-A, Law, PA. We are located in Delray Beach, Florida. And the phone number is 561-279-2200. And of course, as Henry said, you can always call the number that Henry has been giving out throughout the show, and he will reach us as well.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, if anyone have any questions, we're about to end the show. But if anyone has any questions that you want to shoot to me in Facebook, you can do so. You can also, after the show is over, you can go back to YouTube, Brother Inspirational Henry. Please subscribe to our channel, Brother Inspirational Henry. Our Facebook is Brother Inspirational Henry. Just subscribe, like us, follow us. You can always go back and ask questions after the show is aired. You can always ask questions, and we will have the best person to answer those questions. If it's a credit questions, we'll have Mr. Livingston Burt, who is our guru in credit repair, answer the question. And what he does is, if we can't fix your credit, if we cannot fix your credit, as long as you follow the steps that we ask you to do, basically those steps are mostly just signing the paperwork and sending it in. As long as you do what we ask you to do and we can't fix your credit, it's money back guaranteed. We're not here to take anybody's money if we're not doing what we need to do for them. Okay, so Mr. Livingston Burt is our credit repair. If you have any credit questions, you can ask in a chat room or after we're done with the show. Or you can go to our YouTube channel, Brother Inspirational Henry. I have something else in here in the chat room. Explain a little bit about the homestead rule here in Florida, Mr. Kamlesh.
So the homestead stands for the proposition that in case you have debt, you incur debt, the creditor cannot go after your home. That is a state of Florida law. And so the purpose of that is that the state views home ownership as one of those untouchable rights that you have. Remember, we started with the bundle of rights. Bundle of sticks, and in case of debt, the government doesn't want you to lose your home and essentially become homeless because of the debt. So you are protected as long as you make sure that you file for homestead. This is very important because the government doesn't know that you have a homestead. You have to tell the government. So you have to file for homestead with the property appraiser, and then you are on the record that this is your homestead and it cannot be touched.
Okay, so we have one more thing that we want to talk about, and then we're going to close the show. What do you feel is the benefits of purchasing a home here in Florida? What do you think is a benefit right now? Because I see the market is booming. We just came from Boca Bridges, and these are mostly $1 million homes, and they're just selling like candy. People are just purchasing.
So remember that real estate as a rule is the single biggest decision that people will make in their life besides marriage, etc. And you want to make sure that you make the best decision regarding the home. You want to buy a home that will appreciate with time so that you can get equity in your home. It's worth more over time.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to
like
buy
fine wine, huh?
Right, it ages.
It ages.
It ages. So you want to buy it in an area or state that has a proven track record of home appreciation. And that's where Florida is significantly better than many states, because you will see that real estate in Florida, generally the graph is always upwards. And so that is always a good decision if you buy a property in Florida.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamlesh. I can't tell you how much we appreciate your presence to be here on our show, The Real Estate Talk. You definitely have given us a wealth of information. We're going to share this. We're going to share it. We're going to share it. Should anyone ask us for an attorney, you definitely in our group. We will be definitely referring our clients to you. This man is so soft spoken. Just you can just feel the energy to know that he's real. So there's no fakeness in our group. You know, we have a group of some real talented people that know this business. So we definitely will be referring people to you as our own, you know, because that's what you are right now. You are one of us, you know. Right, Carl is in the studios. He's our money. He's the tank. He's the money banker. He has all the money that you need for to purchase that home. Nothing is unreachable. You have to set your mind and goals, and when you set those goals, you set deadlines. This is what make things happen. You can't just sit and procrastinate and say, oh, I'm going to wait and save a little bit more of this and say, no, you do it now. You reach out now. You believe, have faith, and do what you need to do now. Tomorrow is too late. Stop procrastinating. I am a realtor here in Florida. I'm with Keller Williams. As you can see, we have a strong team. We have the money. We have the credit repair. We have the attorney. We have the home insurance. We even have home security because we have a connect with ADT. So we have the full bundle right here, homewithhenry.com. Again, our phone number, 561-336-1336. 561-336-1336. Again, Mr. Kamlesh. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Home purchase is, as I said, the most important decision you'll make personally. And you need the best people possible to make sure that it is as smooth as it can be. So just keep that in mind. And we are always here to help. I teach at the local board of realtors, and we get questions all the time. And if you have any questions in the future, by all means, contact Henry or contact us. I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in right here at the Real Estate Talk. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much to each and every one. This is the Real Estate Talk. Brother Inspirational Henry. Our special guest this week was Mr. Kamlesh Oza, attorney at law. See you next week right here. homewithhenry.com, homewithhenry.com.